The wide-eyed kids still come looking for ancient newscasts to reveal themselves at last before their eyes, as they are surprised to find life in only life, as only they can manifest the rise and fall of all thoughts that sit dormant, waiting to be released from the shackles of fact and fiction, moving into fruition on streets of love and hate.
Haight Street's 18 blocks long. It starts at Market Street and ends at Golden Gate Park.
It's very positive. There's not many neighborhoods like it that are, in the sense that if you're local and and people see your face, you're automatically accepted into a community of people. It's Haight Street definitely is like a really tight knit community of merchants and just residents. It's changed a lot just in the past year because of all the laws being passed about no sit and lie, which is good for us because when you just want to leave your house at 10 o'clock at night to go down to the liquor store, you are going to get bombarded by at least 10, 15 bums.
Moving into fruition on streets of love and hate that some say are gone and some say are great, and at the end of the day both are right and wrong. And now upon my mind I have thought long and have seen the naked bodies looking for Jerry to make them scream as I came and fell atop them, looking deep into their eyes.
First saw the Haight-Ashbury in the 1960s when the hippies were here. Rents were very affordable in Haight-Ashbury when I was a youngster. It was actually kind of a rundown, bad neighborhood, and the average apartment in the neighborhood was about $150 a month for a 6-room apartment. A lot of college students were coming looking for cheap housing. Cheapest housing in the city at the time was in the Haight-Ashbury. That was how the Haight-Ashbury began, because of the cheap rent, the student population. As a young boy, I used to see stores on Haight Street where things were free. They were just called free stores. The hippies used to believe in a free society. We were trying to create a society where people didn't need money. But the hippies, even though they believed in taking welfare, we were trying to, overthrow the government at the time, and they thought if everybody would drop out and not work and just do barter and trade for everything, that it would be a different type of society. We believed in dropping out of society and taking welfare, but then we believed you had to give back to the new counterculture society in some way, shape, or form.
Hoping for more than moments, seemed only frail flowers dying, waiting to live again in summer, but they too are gone.
Well, my definition of a hippie is what is, in the 60s when drugs and sex weren't really mainstream yet, and it wasn't like an acceptable thing, a socially acceptable thing. Hippies were the kids that were trying to push the envelope, really open people's eyes to just being another way of living.
The beatnik era had always taken place in North Beach, and the hippies always felt like they didn't really belong with the beatniks. The beatniks always wore all black, and LSD kind of was legal in 1964, 1965. It was becoming very popular. People were taking LSD, and LSD just changes your whole philosophy and your thinking. It psychedelicizes everything. So everybody started wearing very bright colors and psychedelic patterns and paisleys and old, a lot of people wore Victorian clothing. Well, I've watched the drug scene change. It's always evolved. Well, marijuana has always been very, very prevalent in Haight-Ashbury. This is kind of like the birthplace of what made marijuana legal, as it's becoming legal for medical uses and everything throughout the country. All those roots go pretty much back here to Haight-Ashbury, because everybody in Haight-Ashbury has always for last 45 years, everybody around here smokes pot. The hippies were more into psychedelics, though. They didn't believe, they thought pills were bad, they thought speed was bad, white powder drugs. We call that death culture stuff. But the hippies didn't believe in that. The hippies believed in the more psychedelic things that were more of a spiritual thing. It was about finding yourself, finding God. The hippie philosophy is leave the world a better place and leave no trace of any bad, clean up after yourself, be good to the environment, and that's all. So a lot of what the hippies believed in is very good and did change society. Society was a very different place before the 1960s. And it led to an openness, people accepting people for, who they are. It doesn't matter if you're black, Chinese, Hispanic, Asian, whatever, everybody is equal and you're all beautiful, and that's the hippie philosophy. And the same, it doesn't matter if you're gay, straight, bisexual. Hippies were open to everybody and everything, and the experimentation and the whole art scene and everything is what led it being such a, phenomenon that ended up sweeping over the whole country.
As the festivals have written by, leading the tiers of clowns who can take shit from cops but can no longer lie. As some ask, where has Haight Street gone? I do not know, but wherever it is, it's probably off getting high.